Three cops charged with assault of colleagues. A case involving 3 policemen charged for assaulting a colleague has been referred to restorative justice. Sergeant Steve Forrest, Constable Brian Grant, and Detective Corporal Roger Spence appeared before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday by summons to answer to charges of assault occasioning actual bodily harm in relation to another serving member of the constabulary force. The charge stemmed from December 4, 2021 incident where the officer sustained injuries to his face and body. The cops were charged following an investigation by the Independent Commission of Investigations (INDECOM) and a ruling by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. INDECOM says Parish Court Judge Burrell recommended that the matter be ventilated through restorative justice. The case is set for mention on November 21, at which time the court is to hear the outcome of the restorative justice process. The 3 cops were being bound over. Body of man found in St. Catherine. The body of a man was found along Marlemont Road in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. The police say checks are to be made to ascertain his identity. It is reported that about 6 o'clock, passersby stumbled upon the body and called the police. Upon their arrival, the body was observed in blood. Investigators have not yet determined how the victim met his death, with a matter being probed. Another Bay St. Mary father shot in home invasion. An Another Bay St. Mary father was shot while at home with his children. The 44-year-old Franny Jamaica is now nursing gunshot wound. According to a police report, about 11:05 p.m. on Tuesday, the man and his children were at home when gunmen entered through an unlocked door and pointed the weapon in his face, and a struggle ensued. During the struggle, the police said that another man, who is believed to be an accomplice to the gunman, entered the house and hit the homeowner in the head. It is understood that the homeowner fell to the ground but was shot in his left hand by his attackers, who fled the scene along with his accomplice. The man was later taken to the Another Bay Hospital where he was treated. Prime Minister commits to ensuring that pensioners facing hard times benefit on the new social housing program. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has committed to ensuring that pensioners facing hard times benefit under the new social housing program. Speaking at Jamaica Government Pensioners Association 57th Annual General Meeting, the Prime Minister announced that he will allow the entity to recommend at least 2 pensioners for housing assistance annually. He noted that these individuals will need to meet the established criteria under the program to benefit.
So today I'm going to make a commitment to you that I'm going to give to the executive the ability to recommend 2 beneficiaries per year under the new social housing program. So they would have to meet the requirements. There is no public benefit that is given without assessment. So we have to assess that the person actually needs the benefit. So we would depend on the association to make the recommendation, and this would have to be someone who either has land or has permission to use land that we can build on, and we have to assess their need circumstances. Right? So it has to be a genuine need.
Contempt proceedings brought against Agriculture Minister Floyd Green. Contempt of court proceedings has been brought against Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Floyd Green and 4 executive members of the Jamaica Agricultural Society (JAS) for allegedly disobeying a Supreme Court order. The claim, which was filed Wednesday by Lawrence Larry Robertson, a member of the board of the JAS, stemmed from an annual general meeting (AGM) of the JAS which was held on July 10, despite a court order which barred the holding of such a meeting. The other defendants are Darren Grant, Commercial Manager, Acting Chief Executive Officer of JAS, Lois Lee, Chief Financial Advisor, Andrea Brown Morris, Human Resource Officer, and Granville Hall Board Member. Attorney at Law Hugh Wildman, who is representing Robertson, today remarked that the ministry, by being an attorney at law, is an officer of the court and should not be seen to be floating an injunction issued by the court. Robertson, who is also president of the JAS for the parish of Portland, is seeking a declaration that the defendant had aided and abetted a breach of the order of Justice Tracy on Johnson made on April 14 between Robertson, the complainant, and the JAS. Robertson is calling on the court to cite the defendants for contempt of court by virtue of aiding and abetting the breach of the said order. He is asking the court to declare the meeting null and void and of no legal effect. Robertson states further that on July 26, 2023, Justice Opal Smith granted an interim injunction barring the convening of his annual general meeting. The interim injunction granted by Justice Smith was extended numerous times until May 14, when Justice Johnson ordered that the injunction remain in place until the final determination of the matter of the substantive claim. Attorney at law John Jacobs, who represented the board, had argued that the injunction should not have been extended but was not successful. Following the May 14 order, a notice was circulated to the members of the JAS for the first defendant Green, stating that the annual meeting was to be held on July 10. The claimant on July 2nd informed the board members of the injunction by sharing a copy of the formal order in a WhatsApp group of board members. The fifth defendant, Hall, reportedly responded by saying rubbish. Wildman on June 26 wrote to Green informing him of the injunction which prevented the convening of the meeting and stated that if he proceeded with it, he would be liable for contempt of court. On July 8, Green wrote to JAS and the board stating that despite the ongoing matter between the claimant and the board, the annual general meeting would be held on July 10, 2024. The claimant stated that the meeting was held on July 10 with other defendants participating in the voting of the injunction, despite warning that such a meeting could amount to contempt of court. Robertson is seeking the order on the basis that under Section 53 of the Civil Procedures Rule of the court has power to commit a person to prison or make an order confiscating assets that fail to comply with an order or undertaking, or to do an act with a specified time or a specific date. The injunction stemmed from the claim Robertson filed last year, seeking a declaration that the annual general meeting is null and void without the presentation of auditable financial statements of the association, along with funds held on behalf of the parish branches, which has not been paid over to the JAS. In a statement on Saturday, the Agriculture Ministry said it has taken note of the misleading comments made by Wildman regarding the legality of the AGM. It said both the ministry and minister are seeking further legal advice on the matter and that any court matter brought against the minister or the ministry will be strenuously defended and vigorously opposed. The ministry explained that Fulton had notified the ministry about the AGM and invited Green to attend and deliver the main address. It said to date, the ministry has not received any court order restraining the JAS from holding its AGM. Still in the dark, PNP's voice pleads with JPS to restore power to communities in Westmoreland Central. With frustration boiling over People's National Party PNP caretaker candidate for Westmoreland Central, Dwayne Voss is pleading with the Jamaica Public Service Company JPS to quickly restore power to the numerous communities in the constituency that are still without electricity. In a statement on Wednesday, Voss expressed deep concern over the prolonged absence of electricity in the constituency. The areas have been without power since the passing of Hurricane Beryl on July 3, 2024. For the past 2 weeks, residents have endured a dreadful experience, with many still left in the dark, Voss stated. He gave a listing of the communities that are still without electricity. The PNP candidate caretaker is urging the JPS to take immediate action to restore electricity in the affected communities as quickly as possible. He stated that the situation has left many in a vulnerable state, with numerous individuals suffering losses primarily due to food spoilage. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.